What's up, you guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to your brother Trey with Unpopular Opinions. Let's jump right into the video, you guys.
So I just think right now, to be honest with you, like ever since I had my son, it was the first, no, I lied. Because when I was pregnant, I used to watch your lives. And so when you would talk about, yeah, really helpful stuff. When I would watch your Instagram lives, you would pose so many questions that I did not have the answer to. I'm 29. And when I would listen to you, and people would get triggered, but I'm like, when you really sit down and you take away tone, you take away whatever people think about you, it's actually very helpful if you're willing to listen, but a lot of people don't listen.
So the people you've mentioned, Wendy Williams, and then even your persona, do you relish being the rebel?
I love it here. I'm free.
Okay.
I'm free.
Okay.
I mean, to be honest, yeah, like this type of freedom and saying the things I've said and doing the things I've done on a public level, there's probably a lot of opportunities I will never get because of this level of transparency, which is fine. But I feel like if I'm gonna go all the way, it's like I gotta rock out with my cock out at this point. That's how I feel.
So is there a model for what you want to be? Because if you mention Wendy Williams, okay, she has achieved a modicum of success.
Yeah.
But it's also, depending upon where you sit, there's a lot of downside that comes with that too.
Correct.
When you're 60, what do you want your life to look like?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's something I have been thinking about. I think one of the biggest things I've taken away from your Instagram lives is if it's not gonna be a man, then you're gonna have to make up that financial difference.
Well, assume that.
And I mean, a man is not a financial plan, but I'm saying, you're saying, you know.
Well, assume that, you're.
The reason why I paused it right there too was because I was hoping she was going to say something else, but this is exactly what I've been saying for the past year and a half with Kevin Samuels' content. What he does is he absolutely has helped a tremendous amount of women, and specifically with this question right here. What are you going to do when you turn 60? Where's the financial burden going to come from? And once again, she was trying to fix herself by saying a man isn't finances, a man isn't just money, because that's exactly what we saw her do. But this is exactly what the message Kevin brings out there, is that women, you need a man to pay for your financial burdens for the end of life. As a man, how are you going to do it as a woman? You need a man to take care of you. And it's like, okay, it clicks off of women. Okay, shit, I need to get a man so he can pay for me. I need to get a man so he can pay for my end of life. And so that's what men get reduced to. This is the thing that it may be good in a certain way because women weren't thinking about this shit. But on the same token, it further reduces men to looking like a fucking life plan, an insurance plan. It's like, that's just terrible. It's terrible. I really don't have anything else to say about it, but this is exactly what I think of for even the women that watch Kevin Samuels' channel. Is like, this is exactly what the lesson that this is what you're thinking. This is what comes in your head is, I need a man to act as my life insurance. Like, man, I was hoping she was gonna say something else, but whatever.
You already have more earning potential than you've had previously.
Correct.
Quality of life. What does that look like? Because I know there are a lot of women who are very financially well off.
Yeah.
Who I personally know aren't happy. They're doing what they have to do, and they don't have as many choices. At 29 years old, is what you want to do, has it been done yet? Meaning, like Wendy Williams, Oprah Winfrey, these kind of singular people. A lot of women will look at those women and say, "Oh, they're strong, independent." A lot of men will say they look very sad. I mean that's just.
It's all about perspective.
Well, yeah, but it all comes down to what You know, when I used to teach my men in training stuff, I would say, gentlemen, life happens outside and life is about people. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that coronavirus crystallized for a lot of people, that when the world shuts down, what do you have? You can have all these different things, but if you don't have relationships, you don't have network, you don't have things to sustain you, then what's all this stuff? That's why, you know, being the rebel has its advantages. I mean, who are you talking to?
Here's the deal, you guys. There's something I just really noticed is that men need a champion. Men need a champion that looks out for them. And a lot of people want to talk and say Kevin Samuels is the champion for men, but he's not. He's absolutely not the champion for men. The reason why I said this is because a man who doesn't know his purpose, a man who doesn't know what he needs to do, a man with no discipline and responsibility can be one of the most destructive forces on this fucking planet. It takes a guy who is unloved, takes a guy who has no purpose, who hasn't been taught it, and then all we do is just say, oh, well, man up and go get it. And it's like, what the fuck is Kevin Samuels doing here right now? He's sitting down with a woman who's chosen her fucking life, and he's still coaching her, telling her how she can make a life that's better for herself. Why in the hell are you not sitting here with other men, Kevin, trying to spread this fucking message? Oh, wait, I know why. There's no money in it. It's not popular. Third off, that's not your fucking audience. It does not help improving the men. Like, here it is again. Another man who claims to be the champion for other men out there. The only way he can even get mainstream success is by helping an absurd amount of women over the men. And this is something I've been saying for the past year and a half, is that he's sitting here still trying to coach Brittany. He still tries to sit here and coach Brittany on what to do and how to live her life and shit like that. But let's face the facts, you guys. These women, especially Wendy Williams and these other women out here, when men say that, oh, they don't look happy, and Brittany's like, oh, well, it's subjective. Okay, sure. How about that? How about let's do this, but let's also come back and let's look at even men that have a tremendous amount of money and aren't happy. It's a human condition. Life is about people. But another good portion of it is the money. But what people often do is that they will sacrifice people in order to get the money. And then what they're going to do is they're going to double down on it. And so when you do reach these points of life, now it is, I would say it's a lot better to have money than to not have money. I feel like your life, the quality of life will be just a little bit better, but you can't cut out those important ties and those important relationships. And I think at the end of the day, what Kevin is just trying to say is, Brittany, you need to get a husband. You need to settle down. You need to become a fucking housewife, because at the end of the day, I think this is exactly what women want. I think this is what they need. I don't think this is what they want. I think a lot of, and I'm actually speaking my personal opinion at this point right here, you guys. I think it's in my personal opinion that a lot of women, especially modern women today, do not understand that they would more than likely be a lot happier off in life if they were to actually go the traditional path. And it's not even me being on some like red pill manosphere, get in the kitchen type shit. It ain't nothing like that. I think it's just something that I've been noticing for the longest, is that even my own my grandmothers, it's like, what kind of life are they leading? What, like, surviving off of your daughters, fighting with your fucking daughters, like, this is what your life is gonna be. And then even your daughter's not even really fucking with you that much. And now you're in 60, 70, 50, 60, 70 questioning what your end of life is going to be like. Is this really what, but you got a tremendous amount of money. Is this the life that you want? Fuck no. I like, it doesn't even, no. And it's like, if you were to actually put people first, not even just put people first, if you would just put people in the top, in a priority, like your top 5, top 10 priorities, in relationships, quality relationships, you actually spend time talking to these people, you actually spend time working out the kinks, saying the unsavory things, having those like undesirable conversations that need to be had, though, having those conversations, this is what like definitely lay a foundation for a better quality of life. And Brittany's trying to defend the Wendy Williams type lives of these uber rich women out there, and it's like, I think it's debatable for guys. I think like if guys, I think a lot of guys would without a doubt switch places with Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg or some shit like that. Like I think it's tremendously different for guys having an extreme amount of wealth and happiness than it is for women. Women from birth are more social animals than men are. Men are the fucking, we're tribalistic. Like, let's compete. Let's puff our chests out. Let's fucking, yeah, like. That's what men are about. Men are about the release. Men love the struggle, the competition. They love resistance up into an ultimate euphoric release. It's even with sex. Like we gotta, like, it's amazing. We love the friction, the resistance, the pushback, just for us to ultimately win. That's the premise of any battle royale, Fortnite, Apex, any game. There's this big competition, and then we get this amazing rush of dopamine whenever we win after putting all that we've had into it, and we win. That shit feels fucking ecstatic. This is what life is for men. That's what we want. And so when we work up and create all this money, like it just fits along with men's life. For women, if life reflects the way we have sex, it's a lot different for women. Like the ultimate, and I read this from The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. He said that women's life, if men's life is to get freedom and have release, women's desire for life and their ultimate goal should be connection. It should be establishing healthy, loving relationships. It's about that emotional connection. Now, obviously, there are the uber, successful and goal conquering women out there too. And that's still good too. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's like those are supposed to be the divine of the masculine and feminine and shit like that. And so I'm really curious to see how shit pans out for Miss Brittany Renner within the next 10, 20 years, you guys.
But what's the outcome you want?
I will say I haven't really seen kind of more so what I want to do. I think I just use Wendy Williams more as a she speaks freely.
When you say speak freely, what does that mean to you?
Whatever your truth is. I don't feel like a lot of people tell the truth.
Your truth?
See, she just contradicted herself right there. She said speaking freely is telling your truth, because I don't think a lot of people tell the truth. Now, she just listed two different truths right there. Your truth and the truth. That's two very different things that people have got to be aware of. Your truth and the truth are two very fucking different things. Your truth consists of your experiences, patterns that have repeated themselves throughout years in your life through your lenses and other people that around you. And, that's what your truth is. Your truth may not be the same for someone living in fucking Pakistan. You know what I'm saying? The truth is that the sun fucking creates energy for plants, and plants use chlorophyll and create sugar. Like, that's the truth. Like, that's not debatable. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that is universal. Your truth and the truth are two completely different fucking things. And Brittany, just from the beginnings of this fucking interview and all the shit that you've done on the internet, you are so far from the truth that if you are labeling your words and expression as the truth, oh my God, run the other. What's that artist that cut his ears off? Come on, we got to do that shit. Let's do it.
Is there personal truth?
I think so.
Okay.
Because, if we're in a relationship, someone could ask, well, what's the truth? Well, this is my truth. This is his truth. Mm-hmm. There's somewhere, it's in the middle somewhere. I can only really say how I feel, what my truth is.
This becomes a philosophical question. You know what happened to truth tellers, right?
What?
What happened to Socrates?
I don't know. What happened?
Look it up.
Well, then, but the people who don't know want the answer.
Well, Socrates was one of the most wise men of his time.
Okay.
But they made him drink poison. Truth comes at a cost.
It does, but there's an even bigger cost when you lie, when you're not in your truth.
And I think that our...
Okay, I'm definitely not a expert in Socrates, but I feel like Kevin like loosely brought up and did Socrates so much like there was no point in even name dropping Socrates in this point. I think Kevin name dropped Socrates just to fucking bolster his own intelligence up in this conversation. Like he didn't even expand upon like what the fuck Socrates is even doing in this conversation. He just said that he drank poison to establish the fact that with truth comes consequences. Oh my God! Just write it down. He's a genius. The Godfather. He's a genius.
I hear so many people talk about truth, personal truth. There is a truth, but everything has a cost to it. And in this conspicuous digital consumption, are we prepared to pay all the costs that come along with it? How do we map all that going forward as a rebel?
I've had to ask myself, like, what am I willing to pay to be in my truth and to be the rebel? I think right now, there is kind of like a burning at the stake. Like that's how I feel. I feel like because I tell my truth, I speak how I feel.
Bro, the past 2 minutes have been just cap as fuck from Kevin and Brittany both. Oh my God. Like, I feel like I'm watching a Naruto filler episode right now. Like, these past two conversations have just been nothing but 5-cent words and fucking... What? What? Oh my God. This has been 5-cent words and fortune cookie mottos that have been passed down from the centuries of humanity. Like, what the
that I have been crucified. I'm a very easy target. So I think, yeah.
For example, what do you mean?
So I just recently did an interview with DJ Academics, and I feel like a lot of clips were taken and were like, she's a whore, she's this, you're just a side chick, like whatever the case may be.
No! Brittany, you said everything out of your mouth, and we took with what you said out your mouth. Because you, once again, go back to the other video. This is another example of self-fucking awareness and how people want to. This is the world we live in right now, you guys. This is just like Gen Z labeling anything that doesn't go against their likes as transphobic, homophobic, any kind of fucking phobia, depression and shit out there, you guys. We have these basic as ginormous, ambiguous terms that we just label on everything nowadays in 2021 going into 2022. And here's another example of Brittany Renner doing that exact same shit. Earlier in the interview, she said she was self-aware. Kevin Samuels tried to get some pussy points by saying, self-awareness is sexy 2022. Nowhere is self-awareness in this motherfucking conversation. You know why? Because Brittany wants to continue. She says that it's a burning witch is at the stake, right? Well, first off, nobody called you a fucking witch. You did. Your actions turned you into that. Nothing of what DJ Academics. Let's go back to the fucking 8-minute post that he posted on his channel. Nothing that the DJ Academics said did he really label you as. He said what he thinks that the internet thinks of you, and Brittany, everything that you said fit the bill. It fit the fucking bill. What is another 5? Here's probably one of the only things I haven't heard in this interview yet. I'm about to zoom in on this one. If the shoe fits, then wear it. If whoever smelt it probably fucking dealt it. You know what I'm saying? Where's that, Kevin? I don't think Socrates said that shit, but god damn it, there's some wisdom in it, right? Fuck out of here.
But I feel like because I tell the truth, my truth, it's just easy to pick on me. Like I don't really, cause like, okay, I mean, I guess to get specific, the recent situation with my child's father.
Oh my God, here it is. Brittany doesn't know the distinction between the truth and my truth. She just said two things right there. She's labeling the truth as her truth. The truth is her truth. A lot of women will do this too, you guys. But in this situation, she's saying that her truth is the truth, especially in regards to this PJ Washington shit. Word magic, word acrobatics. That's all this is, you guys. Doing some fancy tricks, word shit. Kevin does this too, though, but, you know, hey.
6 years younger than me. They're saying that I planned it. It was just some evil plan that I had in my mind, and I skated as soon as I had the baby.
It was.
Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And the reality is I thought my person was 6 years younger than me. But that's not what everyone else sees. That's not for me to sit here and try to convince people that, like, what it was. But I think just living out loud.
But it actually is, because every time you've gone onto a major platform, this is what you consistently speak of. Now, I will give this to you, Brittany, because a lot of people bring this shit up as well. It's just, look, that's what it looks like. That's exactly what it looks like. You keep questioning why people think this shit of you, and you wondering why the internet is hating on you and shit like that. Go back to the fucking video you posted of yourself in your car with no makeup on, talking shit on guys, saying, yeah, I had a lot of dick. I had a lot of athletes. Woo! I had 3 regular guys. They weren't special. But let's talk about the rappers. Woo! Man, ladies, if you want to get a good check, if you want a lot of money, get an athlete. They're dumb as fuck. They never use condoms. That's the quickest way to get to a bag. Guess what happened? A year or two later, you did exactly that, Brittany. This is the reason why. This is the reason why. And she can't get through her fucking thick skull and glued on weave. That this is the reason why people, if I promise, if she were to just address the fucking video and be blunt and be real about this shit, stop telling your truth and tell the truth. I promise, a lot of the fire, a lot of the stakes, a lot of the fucking torches and shit, the mob, the internet mob, some of those people will drop out. That's all a lot of people want. That's all people want. They just want that shit. They just want you to come out and be like, you know what? You're right. I played the motherfucker. I did it. And now I'm realizing that me playing it is not turning out good. I didn't expect these results from the way that I played this guy. You know, I'm sorry, man. You know, hey, look, I'll take y'all child support. I'll actually do this the real way. I promise you'll get so much more respect. You'll get so much more favor. You may not even have to go work at the Target you were talking about. You know, people would actually respect you so much more if you would have addressed it that way, instead of putting on this fucking cap, doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on your truth. I think there's a life lesson in this, you guys. I think this is a life lesson in this. This could go for anybody. Stop trying to just continue with the lie. Continue with the facades. Sometimes just put your swords down. Just take a bit. You can just be like, you know what? I lost. You won. You know what? I was a fraud. I actually can't do all the shit that I said I could do. Like, there's gonna be so much out of that. Like, people don't even know that you can actually, like, oh man. If she would have just do that shit, I promise you things would be different.
Out, like you said, it comes at a cost. Whether you're talking about your experiences in a book, whether your relationship is public, there is a cost. Not like, we're in a world too, even with you. I've listened to a ton of your messages, just watching you, and I feel like the point is often missed, because people hear what they want to hear and they make up in their mind that you're a woman hater, you're this, you're gay, blah, 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 blah. That's what they say. So they're going to take it and compute it however they may please.
So, and with something, and with that being the case, there's a tendency to isolate.
Okay.
There's a tendency to isolate, and there's a tendency to do this to the world. Because it's like, if everybody's going to do this to me, I'm going to do it back to them. All right? I get it. Trust me, I get it. But what do you want out of life with other people that's not this? Do you want additional children one day?
Now, that was a very good question, Kevin. I will give that up to him. I will give Kevin a round of applause. That was an excellent point and an excellent question that he has asked. I give props where they're due. I give props where they're due. That was a great point. It was a great point to be made. That's that 50, 60-year-old Rafiki wisdom right there.
You want a family life? Any of these things? Have you thought about any of these things?
Ideally, I would love a family. I think the sole reason I was so excited to have my son was because I wanted, the matching pajamas on Christmas.
Dear God, she's a fucking liar. But she's not lying at the same time. I'm sure this is actually truly what she thought. But this is the difference between dreams, wishes, and reality. A lot of the reasons why people can't make their dreams reality is because they don't understand the steps that it takes. They think that the world should operate in a certain way. And so the things that they do, that people do, they think that it should be enough for them to get the result that they want. It's kind of like this idea of this manifestation magic shit. It's like you see people living the life that you want. And so you test it out. You try to do it. And you don't get the results that you want after the first, second, third, fourth, 10th time. Even after your 100th try, you don't get the results you want. And so you just quit. And then it never happens, right? And let's say you even try 1,000 times and it doesn't happen. It's not to say that it was never meant to happen. It just means that you should go back to the drawing board and you should actually start looking at the market, understand the trends, and learn a little bit more about something in order to get the thing that you want. Sometimes you should just throw in the towel. But when people fail with their dreams in reality and then they sacrifice their reality for the dream that will never happen, it's because they don't take the time to take realistic steps to understand what the world is like, how the world operates. People operate so much on this is how it should be. This is what the world should do. This is people shouldn't worry about that. People shouldn't feel this way. People shouldn't pay money. Well, guess what? The fact is that people do it. That's the important thing. The important thing is that people do that thing. And so what you need to do is you need to go with the flow. Put yourself in a position to capitalize on where people are going and what people are doing. Don't necessarily focus so much on trying to change the fucking world at the beginning. You can do that later once you've established the fucking life for yourself, support for yourself, some money for yourself, some community for yourself, some actual power for yourself. Now you should start worrying about trying to change the world into the direction that you think they should go. But in order to get to that direction, first you have to operate with how the world does go and where the world goes. That's so important. And so this dream that she has, this wish, I wish that this is part of the reason why I was so excited with my family because, I wanted to have the matching pajamas. I don't think she's lying about that. But I think the way that she went about it was so fucked up that it's laughable to even speak about her dreams and wishes. It's like, how in the fuck can you expect to build that when you went online talking about trapping motherfuckers, all this dick you're getting and how it's woo? How in the hell do you expect this to come out of that? It's like you expect to get in shape by watching a bunch of fucking people working out? What the fuck? No, you gotta do it. You gotta actually go out there and do the work. You gotta do the work. Like, man. Let's go. Let's continue.
To me, family is everything. I was raised with my grandparents. So for me, they did the best they could with the awareness they had. Mm-hmm. But my mom and dad, they never married. And my mom isn't married now. Mm-hmm. My dad is. And it's just like, for me, it's just always been a dream to have that in-household unit. And I just feel like, due to recent events, now it's like, yeah, it is stepdaddy season. And that wasn't my choice. Even
What the oh my God, look, I'm about to be done with this shit. Bro. This is, every time we get into an interview with Brittany Renner, it's just nothing but fucking lies and cap. You didn't choose this life. You absolutely chose this life. You absolutely chose this fucking life. You chose this shit. What the fuck? And let's say that you didn't. Well, work with the situation you have. Work with the fucking situation that you have. This is one thing that I admire so much. I think about this shit often. I think about this shit not often, but I do think it's interesting. Look at the rappers. I think about the height of rappers, you guys. It's either they're tall as shit, 6'2", could be in the NBA, or they're short as fuck. 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", 5'5". The rappers, there's hardly any average sized like rappers, you guys. But you know what? It's so fascinating when I do see the celebrities that are guys that are short as shit and they've made something of themselves. Like Kevin Hart. I even think of Steph is Cold. They worked with the fucking cards that they were dealt with in life, and they made something of themselves. And Brittany, if she really wants this dream, of it, it sounds like PJ really did love you, because how much you want to bet that them niggas around him was like, bro, you need to get the fuck out of there. Why are you cuffing this chick, bro? You know how many men have probably told him this shit, and he just like, you know what? No, I'm going to do my duty. I love her. I want her. And now he's saying, fuck you. I'm not saying it's all because of you, but I'm saying that you have a huge control over this shit. I feel like, honestly, any guy would love to be with any girl that they've said that they've loved if she was willing to do what he says that he wants. And you don't even have to do everything. Y'all just have to sit down and talk about this shit. You think he wants to be in a $300,000 a month child support thing? Even if it ain't $300,000, let's say it's $100,000. $100,000 a month? What the fuck do you need $100K for a month for a child? That's one of the reasons why you ain't getting that fucking matching pajama shit. Why? Nigga gotta work. Nigga gotta continue to make that money. He gotta continue to work hard as shit to make that $100K a month for you. So why would he want to spend that time with you? Why? But we always want to put the blame back on the men. The men don't do enough. The men don't do. I mean, that's a huge part of a family coming together. What she's not doing right now. What women can do. There's a huge amount of what women can do to bring families together. Like, this is cap. This is fucking cap.
You know, it was my choice. There were things that transpired where I just felt like, okay, I'm going to have to choose me. But yeah, I want a family, but it is going to take, I mean, honestly, at this point,
it's always been about you.
Want to sign up to be with me, and that's just being all the way transparent. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not big into celebrity gossip and all this stuff. I just don't. Kind of surface level, I know, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But from a PR standpoint, have you told there's a story that's out there, and I think, all right, but is the story accurate?
No.
All right. Well, then let's skip back. If the outcome you want...
Kevin, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Man, see, this is why I give DJ Academics did such a better job at this shit, because Kevin is walking on eggshells for this chick. Like, he's like, I'm not like, DJ Academics wasn't even disrespectful with it. He was just asking the questions, and he wasn't. Now, at the same time, I do understand that DJ Academics has been doing this longer than Kevin Samuels has, but god damn it, man, Kevin Samuels is almost twice the age of DJ Academics. Like, bro, for all this I'm not even gonna get into it, man. I'm not even gonna get into it. He just missed a tremendous opportunity for us to really break this down even further.
It's truly the family that, like most of us who didn't grow up with a family, we long for that. We want that.
Yeah.
All right. What matters more, getting that or your, let's just call it your entrepreneurial empire?
I just realized, I'm like, why are they in this deep, depressing haunted house setting? Like, it looks like Luigi's Mansion in here. Like, they got the candles down low. We got this old, gothic looking interior. Like, the couch looks old as shit too. Like, they got this from a fucking Salvation Army. Like, damn, bro. Like, what? Why this? I mean, I guess it's okay, but it's like, it just looks like it's rainy and shit outside. It probably is. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too much into it. I'm just really noticing. I'm just like, bro, I feel like a ghost should be walking behind the scene. And all right, I'm gonna continue.
Because you can't have both.
Why is that?
You got to pick.
Why do I have to choose though?
Because life is about choices. And
Here's the deal. This is what I've noticed too, especially a lot of times with girls talking to Kevin about this. Why can't I have a career and a family at the same time? And Kevin's like, oh, you want to have your cake and eat it too. You can't do that. And it's so funny because I've never heard that saying before until it was told to me one time and from a woman. And so what I've recognized is that what a lot of women would say that men want to have their cake and eat it too is they want to have that loving relationship with the girl that they really love, and they still want to go out on the prowl and do what they want. And what a lot of men have a hard time understanding is like, why can't I have both? And then girls are like, you want to have the cake and eat it too. And the opposite for women, it's, well, why can't I do what I want and have a career? Why can't I have this amazing family and still have an amazing career at the same time? And Kevin is sitting here trying to tell him, well, you're trying to have your cake and eat it too. Those two things just don't work for real. Like, you've got to put your family or your education or your career as priority. One of the two. If you want to reach astronomical like levels in your career, like, you've got to choose one or the other. And it's debatable. Like, I kind of want to hear where Kevin is going with this. I mean, he's kind of said with it a bunch of times, but I'm someone that I firmly believe if you are to actually sit down and really calculate the steps, do the fucking work, have the conversations, it's not going to be fun, obviously. I mean, you can make it fun, but if you were to seriously look at yourself from a rational standpoint, look at the situation, look at what different pieces and what kind of efforts it's going to take to make these pieces come together, that from the outside looking in, looks like these pieces aren't compatible in any kind of way. If you can sit down and try to figure out how you can make those pieces put together, I feel like you can do anything. And so even with this career thing and family thing, I think you can do both. But I do think that you're gonna have to focus on family first. I think you're gonna have to focus on family first and then potentially work on the career. Because family requires a tremendous amount of time, money, and investment. I'm talking emotional, I'm talking familial, I'm talking all kinds of investments. For that family that you're talking about, look at your great grandparents and shit like that. What did it cost them? It takes a community to raise a kid, especially if you don't want a kid that's off the rails like Willow and Jaden Smith. If you want some, like, hold on, let me not get fucking flagellated for saying regular kids, because it's like, what the fuck does regular mean anymore, you guys? Dwayne Wade's kids? Like, what about Magic Johnson's? Like, come on. I don't know, but let's hear
trade-offs. And one of the biggest lies that's been told to your generation is you can have it all at the same time. Show me one person that has it all at the same time.
I think that's I don't know a person off the top of my head.
Because it's impossible. It's impossible to have it all at the same time. The things that when you start really letting your guard down and softening up, that's what you want. Then you have the things that we feel like we need. Mm-hmm. Cool. But you can't have it all. It's like you can't have this life and then have a normal private life.
Right.
You can't, because it's too know who you're meeting. You don't know why you're meeting them. And you got to calculate every time you meet somebody, what's the damage that can be done to the end goal because you're you. Mm-hmm. That's not normal.
It's not.
So that comes along with it. So all things being equal, what matters more in the long term to you? Is it the family life, that kind of stuff, and still living a decent life, or is it the speaking your truth and the whole Wendy Williams kind of thing we were talking about?
That's a good question, because what example do we have of a woman speaking her truth and also having a family? What about a woman that chose family first and then decided to start speaking her truth? Let me think. Damn, it's on the tip of my tongue. Kind of rhymes with hater, later, Pata, Jada Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith. Oh, that's right. Yeah, she chose family and then decided to start speaking her truth. And what happened to her family? But I mean, at the same time, I mean, they got more money than I'll probably ever see in my collectively. They have more money than I'll probably ever see in my lifetime. So, I mean, what can I say though? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of people that don't have what other people have, and kind of judging them, which, it's not bad, because in this day and age, and almost anything is possible. Anything is possible these day and ages. You guys just got to put the consistency out there, and put yourself out there. Anything can happen. With that being said, you guys, I'll probably make a part 3. My name is Trey with Unpopular Opinions, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all next time.